Buffalo? It's warm. This can't be mid-November in Buffalo. Pull up a brat. We're ready to go. An inter-conference battle at Rich Stadium between the Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills. And hello again, everybody. My name is Joe Buck, along with my partner, Tim Green. And Tim, these two teams come into this game almost in a must-win situation. Now, for the Bills, the injuries are up and the confidence is down.
Yeah, and this is not that same high-powered offense that's taken the Bills to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Part of the problem is the offensive line's protection of Jim Kelly. He's given up 25 sacks, and he got pummeled on Monday night. Now, the Bills are going to have to give him more protection, and with Reggie White breathing down his neck, Jim Kelly's going to have to get rid of the ball today and get rid of it fast.
Now, meanwhile, for the Green Bay Packers, they've won 3 straight, and Packer fans will tell you that's because Brett Favre has cut down on the turnovers.
Well, Brett Favre has turned the corner. However, the Packers have some injuries of their own. Sterling Sharp's got a bad hamstring. Edgar Bennett has a sore knee, and Mike Holmgren says he doesn't know how long those guys can go. But on the other side of the ball, Bruce Smith is out. Now, the Packers offense practiced all week, putting 2 offensive linemen on Smith. So without Smith in there, it's going to be like the Packers have got an extra guy on their offense.
Oh, we are ready to roll at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. We battle inter-conference style, the NFC and the AFC. The Green Bay Packers and the Buffalo Bills will return to Rich Stadium right after this from your local Fox station. Buffalo, we're at Rich Stadium, 49 degrees. Who would have thought? We send you down to the 3rd member of our broadcast team, and Kevin Frazier. Kevin.
Hey, Joe, the 2 injured Packers of note, Edgar Bennett, Sterling Sharp. Sterling took an injection earlier in the week of an anti-inflammatory in the injured hamstring. Took another one again before the pregame. He says he hopes he can go the distance. Meanwhile, Edgar Bennett, the sore shoulder that's bothered him since week 3. But last week he took a hit to the inside of his left knee. They taped it up. Edgar said it may stop him from shaking and baking like he usually does, but he's going to go the distance also. Joe?
Thank you, Kevin. Chris Jackie ready to kick it away for the Green Bay Packers, and we're underway at Rich Stadium. Nate Turner on the return for the Bills. Out to the 20 and not much more. Brought down shy of the 25. Jim Kelly, a banged up Jim Kelly, leads the Buffalo offense onto the field. 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, protected by this offensive line, and they've got to do a better job than they did on Monday night when Kelly was sacked 6 times at Pittsburgh. The running backs, good ones. Thurman Thomas, Carwell Gardner. The wide receivers, Russell Copeland starting in place of BB, Andre Reed, and the tight end is Pete Metzelaars. 1st and 10 for Buffalo from their own 21. And the first pass of the day is complete, caught by Thurman Thomas, just shy of a first down. He got 9. The 3rd-ranked defense in the National Football League. Very strong up front with Sean Jones, Steve McMichael, John Yurkovich, and Reggie White. The linebackers, Kuntz, Strickland in the middle, and the secondary. Very talented, very active. The first down pickup for Buffalo as Thurman Thomas picked up 3. Well, that offensive line of the Buffalo Bills, Tim Green, has its work cut out for it today against the Green Bay Packers.
That's right. This is one of the best front sevens in the NFL, and they're going to have to work hard. They haven't come together as a unit yet so far this year.
On first down, Kelly to put it up, and he finds his tight end Metzelaars. He picked up 5.
Well, this is what you're going to see Jim Kelly doing all day. 3 steps or 5 steps and then delivering the ball. Marv Levy does not want Jim Kelly to hold on to the football today. Not with that Packers front 4 coming at him.
If you caught part of the pregame show on Fox, we talked extensively about the banged up throwing hand of Jim Kelly. He's faced with a 2nd down. He's back to throw. He does hang on, and he does find Andre Reed. First down catch out into Packer territory.
And you see Jim Kelly working that hand, shaking the blood in it. He hits it on this play after he delivers the pass. Right there on McMichael. Finishes the throwing action, but smacks that bruised hand. That's going to bother him all day.
A first down completion to Andre Reed, and the Bills are into Green Bay territory. Now Thurman Thomas, a big hole and big yards over the right side. He picked up 8.
The Packers defense has been successful this season. They're second in the NFL against the rush, and they've been successful with shooting their defensive linemen into the gaps. They're going to try to get upfield. The problem is if Thurman Thomas can hit a hole, and those defensive linemen are upfield, as you see Reggie White, 92, and Yurkovich, 64, were there. Thurman can get into your secondary.
He got 8 and brings up a 2nd down and 2. Kelly, a big rush, steps up into the pocket, and wide open is Brooks. Down to the 11-yard line, and the Buffalo Bills taking it right to the Packers on their first possession.
And that, Joe, was a big play. This offense is 28th in the NFL for plus 20-yard passes. But here you see a big pass play right on this play. And so the Bills starting to stretch the field already early in this game.
The 500 catch of Billy Brooks' career. Spent a long time with the Colts. Kelly tosses to Thurman Thomas, looking for room outside. Does not find much. Sean Jones was there for Green Bay. He just did get back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, that's that penetrating front four, and you saw Sean Jones on that one getting into the line of scrimmage on the other side of the line of scrimmage, and then he clips the runner's feet. Otherwise, Thomas keeps going.
We'll call it a loss of 1 on that good play upfield by Sean Jones. Rich Shermer, the defensive coordinator, down in his stance, getting ready to go. On 2nd down, Thurman Thomas with the catch and run out of bounds at the 5. But, Tim, that hand is really bothering Jim Kelly.
Well, you said it earlier, and it's going to bother him all day. I mean, he can't even shake with his hands. He holds out his left hand to shake hands, and he did it to us yesterday. He did it on the coin toss at the beginning of the game. It's swollen up, and that cut, I'm sure, it was a deep one, and it's going to bother him again all day.
3rd down and 4. And the handoff to Thurman Thomas. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Well, I said, Joe, at the beginning that this was not that high-powered Buffalo offense that's taken them to 4 Super Bowls, and it hasn't been this season, but boy, it is right now. You see Kelly stretching the field with the long pass, and then Thurman Thomas hitting the hole, hitting the gaps, getting the long runs, and they're just waltzing into the end zone.
Now Steve Christie on to tack on the extra point. He's been perfect all season with the points after touchdown. 23 out of 23. Jim Kelly on the opening possession, 4 out of 4. The touchdown handoff to Thurman Thomas caps a 9-play drive covering 78 yards, and the Bills lead by 7. Well, that Green Bay defense has got to be a little stunned coming into today's game. They had given up only 17 points in the first quarter all season long. The Bills lead 7-0, and Christie kicks it away. Darrell Thompson on the return from inside his 10. Brought down by Damon Thomas. Signed off the practice squad just shy of the 25. Here's the touchdown.
Well, the Bills trap the safety on this. You're going to see Corbin Lasima come up. Houck comes in. And Lasina catches Houck, number 24, like a rabbit in the headlights of a freight train. Wham! Buries him. Thomas in. No problem.
Now time for the Green Bay offense, led to the field by Brett Favre. And this rich stadium crowd into the game with that opening possession by the Bills offense. The give to Bennett. He picked up 5 over the right side. Brett Favre is cut down on the interceptions, only 1 in his last 3 games. He's a quarterback for Green Bay. The offensive line very good up front, and they welcomed back Guy McIntyre, who has made a big difference on the offensive front for the Packers. The running backs, Cobb and Bennett. The wideouts, Sharp and Brooks, and the tight end is Ed West. Second down and 5. Favre dumps it off. Sterling Sharp, a first down catch. 7-yard pickup, and we'll give you a look at the Buffalo defense. Without Bruce Smith, Oliver Bennett makes his first start of this season, joined by Wright and Hansen. The linebackers, 4 good ones: Talley, Maddox, Patton, and Cornelius Bennett. And the secondary, good safeties with Darby and Jones. Untested corners, Washington and Thomas Smith. Cobb and Bennett in the backfield for Green Bay on first down. This is Reggie Cobb. Lowers the boom and picked up 4 yards over the right side.
Well, Phil Hansen is playing with some banged up ribs. He got kicked underneath the ribs. He's got some sore muscles under there. And you watch him here going against Galbraith, number 76. That's going to be tough. You see Galbraith getting his hands in there under his ribs. Look at that. I mean, that really hurts when you've got those banged up ribs. You don't want Galbraith getting his hands under there and jacking you up.
Second down and 6 for Green Bay. Favre changing the play at the line. He flips it up, and no one is there. Anthony Morgan, the intended receiver, and that was a strange-looking play from the time the Packers came to the line.
Well, it was a miscommunication, and Anthony Morgan breaks the wrong way. What Brett Favre does, he read the blitz coming, and he threw the jump ball to Anthony Morgan. That's something that Brett Favre has not had the confidence to do to those other receivers in the past. The only time Brett Favre has thrown a jump ball in the past has been to Sterling Sharp, because he knows that Sharp is going to win that battle and come down with the ball.
Third and 6, and 6 defensive backs into the game for the Bills. Favre finds Brooks, and Brooks is wrestled down right at the marker. We'll check the spot to determine whether it's a first down or not.
That's 3 passes by the Packers, 3 different receivers, and Favre made that one tough on Brooks because Brooks is running full speed across the middle, and he threw it a little bit behind him. So nice job by Brooks to pull that in and still get the first down.
He did pick up the first down. He knew where he had to go. He found the first down yardage, and the drive is alive for the Pack. Reggie Cobb. From the backside, it's Oliver Barnett.
Well, Oliver Barnett knows that he's filling some big shoes today. But I'll tell you, Barnett, I played with him down in Atlanta. He's a big guy, and he has the ability to fill those shoes. Watch him here, coming from the backside, 77, and just running Cobb down from behind. That's the kind of play Bruce Smith makes, and that's the kind of play that Oliver Barnett is going to have to make all day today if the absence of Smith is not going to just collapse this Bills defense.
Second down and 11. Wide open is Sharp, and he dropped it. The throw a little high from Favre. There was no one on Sterling Sharp, and they couldn't connect.
We talked about other receivers versus Sharp. And if you look at these numbers, you see in 92, Sharp was getting almost everything, 93, almost everything. Here in 94, this season with Sharp's bad hamstring, it's a 50-50 split almost, 49-51, same thing. To me, anyway.
We'll let that count. Third down and 11. 4 wide receivers set for the Packers. Big rush. Favre steps up, looking for Brooks. Incomplete. Broken up by Kurt Scholes.
Well, Brett Favre said he was going to throw the jump ball, but boy, that was a dangerous jump ball to throw, and you're putting a little bit too much stress, a little bit too much confidence in your receiver, in Robert Brooks. Favre steps up into the pocket nicely, but boy, you don't want to deliver that ball with 3 blue jerseys all around your receiver unless he's like 6'8".
And Brooks isn't.
Nobody is. Not a receiver, anyway.
On fourth down, Craig Hentrick. who had a fantastic week a week ago, gets into another good punt over the head of Burris and into the end zone for a touchback. Craig Hentrick becoming one of the best young punters in the National Football League. But he couldn't pull it up short of the end zone, and the Bills have it again. As Fox doubleheader action continues after this one, the Buffalo Bills and the Green Bay Packers. From their own 20, Kelly to put it up on first down. He finds Thomas out of the backfield, met immediately by George Kuntz.
Well, the Packers are going to be willing to let Kelly throw those little short dump passes because they believe in their linebackers and their secondary, and they believe that these guys can shut down those little short passes. And then you see Jim Kelly's hand again. He's going to be flexing that hand all day.
A 3-wide receiver set into the game for Jim Kelly. And he hands underneath to Thurman Thomas. A flag on the play as Thomas picked up 5. That coming from the umpire and likely holding. And it is. So this will cost Buffalo some yardage. Johnny Greer is our referee today, and we'll let him give us the call.
Holding, 66, offense. Still second down.
That's big, and I mean big, Jerry Kraft. Sitting right here. Let's take a look at him. He gets those clamps going. Not too bad of a hold, I'll tell you. You see a lot worse than that, and you'll see a lot worse today that won't draw the flag.
Now on second down and 18, Andre Reed makes the catch, makes some moves, and he finds a first down. There are few better, Tim, at yardage after the catch than Andre Reed.
Well, you have a saying, that's what he does, and that is what he does. That's what Reed does. They'll throw it to him underneath. He's not really a deep ball guy. He chalks up a lot of yardage because of this reason right here. The juke, the miss, and then he just keeps going.
And with that hurry-up offense, Kenneth Davis checks into the backfield and picked up 2.
Well, the Bills don't run a steady diet of this hurry-up offense. They use it now more as a change-up to force other defenses, the defenses on other teams, to have to work to prepare for it all week long.
On second down, Billy Brooks, a first down catch. Out to the 44. Pickup of 11. Jim Kelly's hand may be bothering him, but so far 8 out of 8. Well, that's 95 yards.
That just tells you how tough Kelly is. I'm sure he told Marv Levy before the game, hey, don't do anything for me. My hand's fine. Let me throw the ball.
Kenneth Davis still in the backfield. Gets hammered from the secondary. Leroy Butler came up, but not until Kenneth Davis picked up 6.
Well, Butler hammered him, no doubt. But if the Packers defensive line is going to allow Kenneth Davis and Thurman Thomas to slash the line like that and to get 5-6 yards, the Bills are going to win this game.
On second down, Kelly avoids the rush, finds his man, completes the pass, and has another first down. With that, we send you back to Hollywood for a McDonald's game break and James Brown. Thank you, JB. Another first down for the Bills. Kenneth Davis still in the backfield for Buffalo. They set up at the Green Bay 45. And the Packer defense a little anxious. We'll check and see if they were drawn off.
Encroachment, 92, defense, prior to the snap. Still first down.
Boy, Jim Kelly's just whooping the Packers every which way. Every way he can think of. He's hitting them high. He's hitting them low. He's smacking them behind the ears, and now he just stepped on their toe. That's one of those cheap tricks to draw those defensive linemen off sides, and it keeps them back in their stance as the game moves on.
On 1st and 5, Thurman Thomas back into the game, picked up 2. Thurman Thomas had a 5-yard touchdown run on the initial possession of the day for Buffalo, and it was the first rushing touchdown scored against the Packers in 30 quarters. Second down and 3 for the Bills. Kelly pulls it down and throws it out of the reach of Thurman Thomas.
Well, when you talk about Reggie White and you wonder why does everybody make such a fuss, watch him 92 here. He battles through Davis. Hull takes a shot at him. He just keeps running and chases Kelly down. Reggie White plays the game like a free agent trying to make the team in camp. I mean, he's one of maybe the most talented defensive player in the game right now, but he plays with the heart of a guy who's on the edge.
You're talking about a 32-year-old, 10-year pro, and he's still the best. 3rd down and 3. Quick hitter to Andre Reed, and another Buffalo first down.
But Kelly really looks sharp. This whole offensive system looks sharp, and it makes you wonder if the problems in Pittsburgh Monday night weren't mostly related to the problems they were having in communications and the noise in Pittsburgh. Of course, the noise here today will be in favor of the Bills.
Thurman Thomas, hello. Big Gilbert Brown, 6'2", 330. Welcome to Buffalo.
Well, there's that penetrating defense. And when you look at the size of Brown here, you really have to wonder to yourself, how can a guy that big penetrate through anything? He could barely get himself through a bus tunnel. Look at the impact of the hit right here. Look at that. Wham. I mean, man, that hurt Thomas's neck, his shoulders, and I think even his feet.
2nd down and 10. Kelly with all kinds of time finds Thurman Thomas, and Kelly is dead on.
But you know what? Kelly really didn't have all that much time because Bryce Popp was coming around the corner and had the heat on. But again, Kelly's just taking the drop and he's getting rid of the ball. The timing of the pass patterns and Kelly's delivery so far today has been perfect, or near perfect. 11 for 12. See, I'm mixing up my math again.
113 yards. The Bills with the lead and with another first down. The tight end Pete Metzelar's found first down yardage, and the drive continues right at the Green Bay 20.
Yeah, and the Bills will just keep throwing these short passes as long as it works for them. And how about the confidence in the passing game when it's 3rd and 3 like that, 3rd and short, and then you just send your tight end, the big tight end out there and deliver the ball to him, and then he gets it.
Yonel Jourdain in the backfield for Buffalo as Thurman Thomas checks out on first down. Kelly into the end zone. Reed incomplete. Good coverage by Terrell Buckley on Andre Reed.
I don't know if Kelly's mad at himself or mad at Reed. Let's take a look. Well, he's got to be mad at Terrell Buckley because Buckley was the one that broke up that play. The ball was on the money. Reed was right where he had to be, but Terrell Buckley gets his hand in there at the last minute, just gives a little flick and defends the touchdown.
14th play of the drive coming up right here.
Can you do that, defend a touchdown? Sure. Okay.
On 2nd down and 10. Complete. Billy Brooks in a pickup of 5. Nothing fancy, nothing exotic.
No, and again, you see the big pass rush here, but Kelly just 1, 2, 3, set, and throw. Just like an exercise, like he does it every morning, like he could do it with his eyes closed. That really frustrates you as a defensive lineman, you know, when you're pushing and shoving in there, battling around, and then you get back there and the ball's already gone and it's too late.
3rd and 5. Kelly over the middle, touchdown Reed. And so far, the Buffalo offense has taken apart this good, very good Green Bay defense.
This is the 3rd-rated defense in the league, and so far, Jim Kelly and the Bills have just whipped them and kicked them and slung them around the field and made it look real easy to move down the field and score.
They've scored 2 touchdowns. Christie has put 2 extra points through the uprights. And the explosion is back in the offense of the Bills, at least for the moment. Kelly, a fantastic first quarter, and the Bills a 14-0 lead. 14-0 lead as we wind down here in the first quarter. Jim Kelly near perfect here this afternoon, and Steve Christie ready to kick it away for the Bills. Corey Harris and Darrell Thompson back deep for Green Bay. Corey Harris. Not much. Mark Pike.
Holy smokes. That was a knockout punch if I ever saw one.
The Bills are pumped up. Mark Pike is pumped up. Green Bay down by 14.
Pepper in your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
Well, when you're a defensive back, body position is more important than at the Saturday dance. Look at Teague, number 31. He doesn't keep his position inside Andre Reed, so Reed's able to break across the middle, and it's a touchdown.
First down for Green Bay, and they hand to Edgar Bennett. Good yards over the left side. Bennett picked up 8. And we wind down the final seconds of the first quarter. This first quarter belongs to the homestanding Buffalo Bills in total yards and on the scoreboard. That is the end of the first quarter with our score, the Bills 14. The Packers with the ball, but the Packers with no points. Quarter number 2 coming up. Out in front by a game over Chicago and Green Bay. Chicago leading the Lions 7-0 in Chicago. Minnesota plays the Jets later on today. Tampa Bay down at the bottom taking on the Seahawks later today. And here at Green Bay, the Packers trail by 14.
You know, when you're neck and neck and you're a player, you're looking up at the scoreboard during the game. If there's a break in the action, you want to see when you're neck and neck with the Bears, the Packers will be looking to see how they're doing today.
On second down and short. Incomplete to Sharp. The throw a little behind Sterling Sharp, and so far Brett Favre has had a tough time getting into a rhythm and staying accurate.
Yeah, especially when you compare him to his counterpart, Jim Kelly. Brett Favre is not delivering the ball with the same accuracy and the same timing.
So far, Brett Favre, 2 out of 6 for only 14 yards. 2 tight ends set. On 3rd and 1. And the little rollout. Wide open is the tight end. Big yardage for big Reggie Johnson. Just picked up by Green Bay. And he picks up a first down. Now time for a McDonald's game break. James Brown.
Joe, you mentioned big yardage. Well, that's synonymous with Emmitt Smith. His 2nd touchdown run of the day. 15th touchdown of the season. He's over 1,000 yards for the season. And Dallas is on top of Washington by 17. Back to Joe and Tim.
A first down for the Packers on their own 48. Play action pass. The throw a little too low and incomplete. Tight end Ed West, the intended receiver, and Favre still struggling to find that rhythm.
And you notice the velocity Favre's putting on the ball. He really believes that for him to throw an accurate ball, he's got to throw a fast, hard ball. Watch him deliver this like the fastball pitch. Look at that. Wham, he puts his whole shoulder into it. But even with the fast ball, he's still not throwing an accurate pass. He hasn't thrown a real sharp one yet today.
2nd down and 10. Favre over the middle, low again, and behind his receiver. Robert Brooks, the intended receiver. It was interesting. We first yesterday met with Mike Holmgren, and he says, we've been trying to get Brett to lay up on those short passes, take a little something off. Then we talked to Brett, and he says, look, I'm not accurate. when I take something off.
Right. He believes when he starts throwing the touch, he gets sloppy, he gets inaccurate. But like I said, he's throwing the fastball. He's throwing the hard ball with the zip on it, and he's still not getting it in there. But listen, Brett Favre is a guy who can go hot and cold. Right now he's cold, but he could get hot.
On 3rd and 10, deep drop. Bennett brought down immediately. Darryl Talley there to bring him down, and time for the Packers to punt.
Well, Talley was just all over that. There's no way Bennett could have gotten more than a half an inch on that play, because Talley just mirrored him the whole way, kept with him, and as soon as Bennett caught the ball, just wraps those arms around and throws him down.
Greg Hendrick back to punt with Jeff Burris, a rookie from Notre Dame, back deep for the Bills. Good snap. Good punt. Boy, the Packers have found something in Craig Hendrick. Back inside his own 10. Burris gets it out to the 15-yard line before he is met by Houck of the Green Bay Packers. A 46-yard punt, a 9-yard return. The Bills have the ball again. They lead by 14. The Buffalo offense has taken it to them, scored 14 first quarter points, and now they have it for the first time here in the second quarter. The Buffalo Bills have it 1st and 10 from their own 15 and have Thurman Thomas, the lone setback behind Kelly. He gets the football and gets a couple over the right side. 2 quick scores in the first quarter for the Buffalo Bills, surprising against this very good Packer defense.
Yeah, you might not believe it's surprising if you've seen what's happened today, but here's the number right here. Packers #1 in the NFL. They only give up a score 18% of the time when the other team touches the ball. Today, it's been 100.
2 for 2, and now the 3rd possession. Thurman Thomas, not much. He picked up 2, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 6.
We talked earlier about how Reggie White never quits. You see him here throwing Parker around and just keeps pushing and shoving in there, stuffs up the hole, and then gets his hands wrapped around Thomas.
Wild snap. Kelly corrals it, looks for his man, nearly picked off, and now a flag. Terrell Buckley draws a flag with great effort. And we'll check with Johnny Greer. This is going to give the Green Bay defense another black eye. Good effort, but pass interference and another Buffalo first down.
Pass interference, 27, defense, first down.
Now, Buckley doesn't like this at all because he feels like he's going after the ball aggressively, but he got to get his hands off of Andre Reed. If he gets his hands on him like that, it's no good. You're going to get the flag. He got his hands on him before he went for the ball.
So a first down for Buffalo out at their own 30. Aired out. Andre Reed could not hang on. Working on Corey Harris, and it slipped right through his arms.
We asked Fritz Shurmur yesterday, the defensive coordinator for the Packers, if he was going to play his defensive back short. Since the Bills so far this season haven't had that deep throwing game, he said, no, I'm not going to fall into that trap. I know this team has the capacity to go long, so we're going to keep our defensive backs deep and play that long pass, and then we'll close in on the short ones.
2nd down and 10. Kelly gets rid of it in a hurry, finds Metzelar's, another Bills first down.
Well, there's a short pass, and the Packers defense really didn't do a great job of closing in and shutting it down. Shurmur, you see him there, he's not happy. He's probably throwing a couple harsh words around because he said if they throw that 5-yard pass, it's got to be held to a 5-yard game. Metzelar's caught the ball at 5 yards and turned it into a 10-yard game.
Another first down for the Buffalo Bills. They have 12 first downs here in the first half. Kelly trying to set up a screen. He lost the football, and that's an incomplete pass. You would expect that to happen more today if he pump fakes, not being able to hang on to the ball because of that bad passing hand.
Right, that's a great point. When your hand's banged up like that, you got to cut. Jim Kelly is so tough. I mean, there's no question about that. But still, your body can only do so much, and your mind may tell you to keep going and to hang on to that ball, but your body may let it slip out of your hands.
On 2nd and 10. Down the sideline, caught by Andre Reed. What a receiver. What a receiver in traffic. Terrell Buckley all over him.
Well, Andre Reed sells Buckley on the stop and go. See it there? He sells it. And then he didn't sell it too well because Buckley kept running with him. But Reed just had the vision on the ball, and Buckley didn't get his eyes back around quick enough. He was racing for the end zone, and Reed just pulled up short.
Now a flag on the play and an illegal procedure against the Buffalo Bills.
False start, 88 offense. Simulate the start of a snap. Still first down.
Pete Metzelaars drew the flag. Andre Reed, Tim, here in the first half, 5 catches for 84 yards. Billy Brooks has had a good first half, and Jim Kelly has been nearly flawless.
Yeah, dead-eye accurate.
On first down, Andre Reed got back to the original line of scrimmage, +1. He got 6.
Now, Andre Reed has got Terrell Buckley's head spinning because he stopped up short, and then he acted like he was going deep on the long play. Then he faded back to it. Here he acts like he's going deep. Boom, stops up short, catches the pass. He's really playing mind games with Terrell Buckley right now.
2nd down and 9. And Kelly changing up at the line. Delayed handoff, Thurman Thomas. Another first down for Buffalo.
Well, there's a way to soften up that pass rush. And John Fina, number 70, holds his block on Sean Jones just long enough. You see it here, and Jones gets off, and he gets a hand on Thurman Thomas. But Thomas has got too much speed already through the hole, and Jones can't hang on.
Thurman again, his 10th carry of the first half. He picked up 6. 10 carries, 38 yards for Thurman Thomas.
These guys are getting smoked on defense, Joe. Look at these numbers right here. Buffalo, 231 yards. I mean, heck, the Green Bay Packers sometimes don't give up that much in a game.
Thurman again over the right side. Down inside the 5 and down to the 2. He got 8 and yet another first down.
Well, Corbin Lasina here leads Thurman up the hole. Watch him here. Look at that big guy on Houck. That's the second time he said hello to Tim Houck today, and it's the second time Tim Houck's gotten a little bit of a taste of the turf.
The Bills check in Mike Devlin as an eligible receiver as you look at the numbers for Thurman.
Yeah, and you know, if I was Houck, though, I'd do the same thing if I saw that big bulk coming at me. Heck, I'd get down.
An 11-play drive covering 83 yards, 4.5 minutes, and flags before the play got underway.
False start, 68 offense.
Corbin Lasina guilty of the false start, and that's going to cost the Bills 5.
He's got himself a little whetted his appetite hunting those rabbits out there in the secondary. He's like one of those bird dogs. They get a little jumpy after they taste some blood.
1st and goal now from outside the 5. Thurman Thomas, not much. He got 2.
Yeah, and the guy who stuffs that up is big John Yurkovich. And, you know, that's a tough life in there as a nose tackle. You're sitting there on the center, and you see Kent Hull there throwing him around, battling. Yurkovich does a nice job of getting himself off of Kent Hull's block and making that play. You know, he plays a little better. He plays a little quicker now that he's a little lighter. couple years ago, he was 307 pounds, but he slimmed down a little bit.
Now on 2nd and goal, incomplete with Billy Brooks, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 3rd and goal.
Yeah, Kelly just, he's got so much confidence in this passing game that he's just going to keep going on it. And, of course, he goes to Brooks because Andre Reed down here draws the double coverage. You see Buckley on him, and then you see Teague filling on the inside. So they give Andre Reed nowhere to go, but it leaves Brooks pretty well wide open in the middle.
3rd and goal from the 5 for Buffalo. Kelly, a big rush from Sean Jones, and he's sacked. And they finally get to Jim Kelly. 9th sack of the year for big Sean Jones.
Well, a lot of people say that Sean Jones is the benefit of Reggie White's pass rush and him putting watch Jones at the bottom of the screen. 96 just rolls right past John Fina, and really that's all Sean Jones. That sack is not a junk sack. Nobody helped him. He just beats the tar out of Fina and puts the hit on Kelly.
Now Steve Christie to try a 38-yard field goal to add to the 14-0 lead. Christie has had a fantastic season, now 18 out of 19. And the Buffalo Bills tack on 3. The Green Bay defense doesn't know what hit them. First half, and the Bills lead by 17.
They wanted to run the ball, not just throw it, and so far they really have only gone to the air. 10 passing plays, only 4 plays on the ground. I mean, not 0 time of possession, but compared to Buffalo, it might as well be 0. They've kept their defense on the field, and they've allowed the Bills offense to get it revved up.
Corey Harris is hammered. Now for a Central Division update, we send you back to Hollywood and James Brown.
Hey, Joe, because Barry Sanders is running well, David.
Thank you, JB. Right now, the Packers need to climb back into this game.
Yeah, their offense needs to not only put points on the board, but they need to give that defense a little bit of a rest.
Now they go to the ground. Edgar Bennett picked up 3. If you just joined us, Bruce Smith not in the lineup defensively for the Buffalo Bills. Oliver Barnett making the start in place of Bruce Smith, and against the 3rd-ranked defense in the NFL, Buffalo Bills offense, which has struggled, leads 17-0. 2nd down and 7. Setting up the screen, he finds Bennett. Not much blocking there, and only a yard.
Well, Cornelius Bennett makes this play work, and then Jeff Wright comes in with the 2nd effort, so they really shut down that screen. I mean, Bennett's getting blocked on this play, but he just wheels around the blocker and gets his hands on Edgar Bennett. Watch him here. Wheels around, hands on. Jeff Wright comes, hits him again, and really Cornelius Bennett, hangs on to Edgar Bennett and gets the tackle himself. That's a tough play to make out there when you've got a blocker on you.
Bennett the lone setback behind Favre on 3rd down. Over the middle, Brooks short of a 1st down, and again the throw was behind the receiver.
Behind the receiver, and then Henry Jones just comes up and hammers Brooks. I mean, he hammers him and stops him dead in his tracks. There you see the throw behind Brooks, and then Jones just stopping him, putting him right down, and forcing the Packers to punt.
Time again for Craig Hendrick to punt it away with Jeff Burris back deep for the Bills. 4 kick, not returnable, and out of bounds. A poor kick by Hendrick. That's a rarity lately. As we go to break, our Aflac trivia question since the start of the 1992 season: who has thrown the most passes in the NFL? Think about that, the answer, when we return. Start of the 92 season, who has thrown the most passes in the NFL? The answer, Brett Favre. Surprisingly enough, 2 spots behind him, Jim Kelly, Warren Moon in between. But today, between these two, the first half at least belongs to Jim Kelly. The Bills have run it in. They've thrown it into the end zone, and Jim Kelly, despite the bad hand, has been fantastic. Now the Bills have it again. They've scored every time they've touched the ball, and they lead 17-0. Thurman Thomas met by Jones and Strickland. A pickup of only 2.
When you talk about Jim Kelly and playing with this bad hand, and some people speculated with the hand as swollen and sore as it was that he might not even play. But Jim Kelly knew one thing going into this game. He knew that if the Bills are going to go to the playoffs and keep those playoff hopes alive, they really had to win. They have to win today's game. They can't go into the latter part of the season with a 5-6 record. That'll collapse their morale.
2nd down and 8. Thurman Thomas met by a wall, the defensive front for Green Bay. A pickup of only 1. Steve McMichael there to lead the charge for the Pack.
I don't know why Marv Levy is getting conservative and running the ball 2 times, not with the way Jim Kelly's been throwing it. Hey, if you're throwing it and completing it the way Kelly's been, forget the sore hand. Just keep airing it out. Put it in the air. The receivers are making the breaks. Andre Reed's working on Terrell Buckley over there. He's got his number. Just keep going up top.
The Bills are faced with a 3rd and 7. Kelly to the sideline. Good coverage. Good coverage from Doug Evans as he tried to get it to Billy Brooks.
And it's a good thing Evans had the coverage, because we talked earlier about that Bills offensive line giving Jim Kelly protection. He had the picture-perfect pocket. He had all the protection he needed on that play. So Evans really saves the day for the defense.
Chris Moore on for his first punt of the day. 9th in the AFC, averaging just under 42 yards per punt. Robert Brooks back deep for the Packers. So for the first time, the Green Bay defense holds. And Buffalo kicks it away. A beautiful spiraling punt. Brooks back inside his 15. Upended. Upended by Mike Dumas, former Houston Oiler. The Packers have the ball. They need to get it going.
That's a violent world down there. When you make your living doing that stuff, you bring home a lunch pail full of dents.
54-yard punt, an 11-yard return. Green Bay down 17-0 with all 3 of their timeouts remaining and 3:49 left on the first half clock. Over the middle, jump pass to Bennett, and a first down Green Bay. Brought down in the play by Marcus Patton and Thomas Smith.
All right, well, we said Green Bay's not running the ball, but to Mike Holmgren, who really developed this San Francisco-type offense when he was in San Francisco, to him, this really kind of is a run play, and that's why Bennett has had so many receptions so far this season. They'll just scoot him out of the backfield, dump the ball to him, and it's a sure pass, or it should be a sure pass, and then let Bennett do his thing.
Bennett 10th in the NFC in receptions with better than 50. Favre throws incomplete. Sterling Sharp, the intended receiver, and Mickey Washington was all over him.
Too much heat. Too much heat on the ball. Brett Favre's got to settle down and start putting it in there. Instead of trying to throw it harder, I think he's got to back off just a little bit. Just back off a little bit and try to find that zone in there that's going to get him back to the accuracy that really has made him a great quarterback in the NFL.
Not much of a first half. 2nd down and 10. Favre gets rid of it. Incomplete. Sterling Sharp, the intended receiver, and again the throw behind the receiver. Twice before she's faced this deadly enemy. Tuesday, the terror is back. Sigourney Weaver stars in the nonstop action thriller Alien 3. World broadcast premiere Tuesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, right here on Fox.
It's a good look for a defensive player, that alien creature.
Four wide receivers set. Anthony Morgan, Terry Mickens check in for Green Bay. 3rd and 10. Favre steps up, gets hit, intercepted. Back the other way. Mickey Washington run out of bounds at the 13. Phil Hansen with pressure on the quarterback, and Mickey Washington is 3rd pick of the year.
Well, that's great defensive line play by Phil Hansen. He's in there with those banged up, beat up ribs, but he makes this play. Look at him looping around the outside. He comes underneath Joe Sims, and he forces Favre to throw it a little too quickly to jump. Watch Favre. Watch him jump up, and he gets hurried, and he rushed it, and he threw it because he felt Hansen there on his outside, and he didn't see the defensive back standing right there to pick it off.
Mickey Washington is 3rd of the year, and now the Buffalo offense takes over at the Green Bay 13. Delayed handoff to Thurman Thomas, wanting Kelly to get out of the way. Then Jim throws a block, and Thomas picked up 3.
Well, Thomas did the only thing he could on that because Sean Jones had it all the way. He had the number, and he came right up outfield. And Sean Jones knew Thurman Thomas was supposed to break towards the other side of the field. But when Thomas saw Jones, he just scooted around Jim Kelly. And I don't think Kelly's going to be too happy about Thurman using him as kind of a body shield in there.
Brett Favre has had a rough first half. He asks the defense for a big stop. 2nd down and 7 over the middle. Andre Reed, touchdown Buffalo. And the Bills are just making this look too easy. His 2nd of the day. His 6th of the year. And the Packer defense more than frustrated.
Yeah, that just kills you. I mean, to have an offense move the ball down on you at will, and then you finally look like you're going to get a little bit of a break and a cup of Gatorade, and all of a sudden your quarterback throws an interception, and there they are knocking on the door again.
A 2-play drive covering 13 yards, 42 seconds. Andre Reed today, 7 catches, 100 yards, 2 touchdowns, and here is number 2.
Again, look at that protection for Jim Kelly. Perfect pocket, picture perfect pocket that is. Allows him just to stand in there nicely. Nice gap, nice seam right up the middle, right there for his receiver. Andre Reed gets into the hole, and what a half for Jim Kelly.
So the Buffalo Bills and their fans having a good time here at Rich Stadium. And Jim Kelly has been fantastic. We talked at the beginning about the banged up throwing hand. He's 18 out of 24 for 194 yards. 2 touchdowns, and both of them to Andre Reed.
Yeah, and there's Reed's number, 7 catches for 100 yards. He's having a banner day. And I'll tell you, nothing does more for a banged up, bruised up hand than the kind of day that Jim Kelly is having today. Because when you put those kind of numbers up there, especially this big one right here, the big 2 touchdowns, heck, all of a sudden that hand starts feeling real nice.
Well, the Buffalo Bills lead 24-0. The Packers have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. 2 minutes, 12 seconds left here in the first half. Corey Harris and Darrell Thompson back deep for the Packers. This is Corey Harris from his 10. Big return, Corey Harris out near the 40. Brought down at the 38. And that's exactly what they needed. Good field position.
Well, what the Bills do on this play is they take the tight end and run him straight up the field. He clears it out, and then Andre Reed just zips across. And Metzelaars has kind of confused those defenders, picked them off, shuffled them around in there, and then they can't get back to Andre Reed.
Plenty of time here for Green Bay. After this play, we'll have the 2-minute warning, and then 3 timeouts remaining for the Packers. 2:02 left in the first half. And a dump off pass to Bennett. High steps his way, hops out of bounds at the 45. He got 5. And we are at the 2-minute warning of the first half. Green Bay desperately needing points. A big drive for the Pack and Brett Favre. Coming up on Dockers Halftime, James and Terry will have all the scores and highlights. Plus, we'll look at the last 6 weeks' most explosive and elusive runs, and a new edition of Sweet Feet. That's all coming up next on the Dockers Halftime.
Yeah, how about Terry Bradshaw? Look at this right here. He's got the Bills jacket. He's got the Bills hat. It's almost like he had some kind of inside information. You know, he's always been a front runner, though, Joe.
24-0 Buffalo. Second down and 5 and Favre scrambling. Picks up a first down and then almost has his head taken off. Talley and Bennett there for Buffalo. A pickup of 9 and a first down for the Packers.
Now, sometimes a hit like that may be exactly what Brett Favre needs, you know, because he might need it to settle down, to take a hit and get a little adrenaline flowing and get himself, you know, grooved into the game. He thinks he's an offensive lineman. Heck, take a couple hits and maybe he'll settle down.
And just before the play, the Buffalo Bills call their first timeout. Cornelius Bennett a bit banged up on that last play. He's over on the sideline. We'll check his status when we come back.
Michael and Troy.
A little exciting. They start throwing their bodies around, trying to put the hit on him.
Bennett looks okay. 1st and 10. Green Bay. Underneath, Reggie Cobb, a one-handed catch, and he's able to get out of bounds. Favre hung in, and Cobb took care of an errant throw.
That really was smooth work by Reggie Cobb. I mean, Favre feeling the heat, and then he just kind of dumps it off. Nice light pass. And, you know, if Favre had gunned that ball with that strong sidearm, you know, missile twister there, Cobb doesn't pull that in. But because he had a little bit of a light touch on it, Cobb can pull that in and get downfield. So maybe that hit did him some good. Favre, that is.
A minute 23 left in the first half on 2nd and 1. Here's Cobb the other way. A first down for Green Bay inside the 30. And the Packers will use their first timeout.
Yeah, you know, Green Bay really is a great screen team. And then again, on this play, did you see Favre? He just dumps it nice and soft. Dumps it in there and gets that play going the right way.
When you're 5 and 5, as the Bills are, it's always critical. And Buffalo tied with the Jets, tied with the Raiders, all looking for playoff berths, and out in front in the wild card chase, Pittsburgh and Kansas City.
Yeah, but you know, you can't get too excited to be 5 and 5 down here, because this down here, here's the outhouse, but you go up here to the penthouse, that's only a 2-game difference, and there's still quite a bit of this season to go, so the Bills should not lose heart.
Here's where Buffalo will head after this one. They play on Thanksgiving at Detroit. By the way, Green Bay will take on Dallas on Thanksgiving. Then it's at Miami, at home against Minnesota, at home against the Patriots, and then at the Colts. You know, I think it's worthwhile mentioning that with a loss here today, Buffalo, and they lead here 24-0, wouldn't be mathematically eliminated, but maybe psychologically eliminated. Under 500 this late in the season, but they have played an outstanding first half.
Yeah, I think you're right. Psychologically, if they lose today, or if they had lost today, they'd be out of it.
Favre airs it out wide open. Sharp touchdown, Green Bay. How can Sterling Sharp get that wide open?
I don't know, because he's Sterling Sharp.
My goodness. The Buffalo defense, I'm sure, keying on Sterling Sharp, and somehow they lost him.
Well, if you look down here to the right of your screen, you see the safety trying to call a timeout. You see Darby running up right here. He runs up to the official timeout, timeout. Too late. And Sharp just goes streaking right down the middle, untouched.
Boy, that's great work finding that. Darby vacates the spot. The extra point is no good.
Yeah, and look who got his big paws on it.
Oliver Barnett.
Yeah. Bruce Smith's replacement. And the Bills players said, Oliver Barnett's got to come in for us today and play the game of his life. And so far, the Bills defense has been solid with Barnett in there. We saw him earlier making that play in the backfield, chasing down the runner from behind. And then you see him using the big bulk and the strength right there, 77, going up through the middle and blocking the extra point. There's a problem. He comes up to the official and tries to call a timeout, vacating the lane. And Sharp just puts his foot on the accelerator and goes to the end zone.
Even there, the throw behind Sharp, but good enough. It was good for 6. And we'll give you another look as Sterling Sharp hauls in his 6th touchdown catch of the year.
Yeah, Favre just sees that and launches it.
The extra point was blocked. It's 24-6, and now the Bills will get it back on offense. Nate Turner on the return gets it across the 20 and brought down at the 24. And it will be interesting to see just how the Buffalo offense approaches this. Will they take it down the field? They're left with 2 timeouts, or will they be content with a 24-6 halftime lead? The coolest gang in Beverly Hills is going to the hottest concert of the year this Wednesday. The Rolling Stones rock 90210. It's not just an episode, it's an event. Wednesday at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox. On first down, Thurman Thomas gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Some of the Buffalo fans get on this approach, but not many. They know, don't toy around with a 24-6 halftime lead and maybe open yourself up to a quick Green Bay score.
Yeah, well, what a half, though, for the Buffalo offense. You can't forget about that. They moved the ball down the field. They took advantage of Favre's interception. But you said it earlier, Joe, and you were oh so right, because Green Bay crucially needed to score before they go into the locker room at halftime.
They did, and they couldn't put the extra point through. Now Green Bay will use a timeout. There's only 15 seconds remaining in the first half, but Green Bay will spend a timeout. It'll be a 3rd down for Buffalo when play resumes. Green Bay will be left with a timeout, and they could force the Buffalo Bills into a punting situation. Thurman Thomas limps away. He's been bothered by a bad ankle the past few weeks and aggravated it last Monday in Pittsburgh.
Well, when you go against a big defensive line like the Packers have got, and they got some bulk in there. I mean, Yurkovich and Gilbert Brown, 93 in there. I mean, those are some big. I mean, that's a dump truck with a full load of gravel in its bed. I mean, that's not just a dump truck. Reggie White's like a dump truck, but Gilbert Brown's a dump truck with the full load.
He's in there plugging up the middle, and right now on 3rd down,
there's the full load right there. Maybe I should have said donuts instead of gravel. And you see a little bit of blood on his jersey there, and that's what happens when when that big bulk falls on top of you. Blood's got to come out of somewhere.
3rd down for Buffalo. 1 timeout remaining for Green Bay. Kelly airs it out. Copeland. The 2 wrestle for the ball. A flag on the play as Doug Evans comes away with it, but there's a flag thrown on the play.
Flag on the play. Pass was intended for Copeland.
And the initial indications are that it is against the cornerback Doug Evans. We'll get the call from Johnny Greer. 7 seconds remaining here in the first half. And now Buffalo can take a shot at the end zone or take a shot at a quick play.
Illegal contact. Defense is declined. First down.
So a first down, and the Buffalo Bills are not that far away from field goal range with this completion.
Well, you see Evans here, and he gets his hands on Copeland, and you can't get your hands on him after that 5-yard area right there. And then, of course, Evans argues about it, but the official's not worried about what happened when the ball went in the air. The official's worried about those hands on the receiver after the 5-yard zone.
It would be a 55-yard field goal try from here. Steve Christie's career long is 59. His season long is 52. Buffalo has a timeout remaining. A quick play. Andre Reed out of bounds. And Steve Christie will trot on and try a field goal. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line. So around a 50-yard field goal try here for Christie. And he's missed only one field goal this season, and that was blocked.
Mike Holmgren's got to be kicking himself right now for calling those timeouts, because Buffalo was willing to just run it out and go into halftime. And now Buffalo's going to go in, if Christie makes this, with some extra points.
Officially a 51-yard field goal try. Last play of the half. Christie's kick is good. Three more points for the Buffalo Bills. Everything went the way of the Bills in the first half. That's the end. Brought to you by MCI. Proof positive in these highlights. Have Marv Levy singing.
Here we go, folks. Go Bills, for we are here to cheer for you. Go Bills, we are your fans so true. With victory in sight, we'll yell with all our might. So go Bills, fight, Bills, go. Come on, let's win for Buffalo.
Now that's a song that Marv Levy wrote. He promised his players that he would do it. He wrote it's good. He is one of the most intelligent head coaches, and now we know that he's musical also.
I like that song for two reasons. First, because it shows the kind of guy Marv Levy is, because a lot of times they get him on the sideline. He's got that serious, that kind of dour looking face. But boy, he's really kind of a warm, nice person. And then secondly, I like it because I never heard of a head coach singing a song like that for his players. I kind of like that.
Meanwhile, on the other sideline is Mike Holmgren. And I think we have been fortunate to run into two of the classiest head coaches in the NFL. And Mike Holmgren is, it's really a shocking story where he's been.
Yeah, well, but you're right. Both of these guys are wonderful. And the interesting thing about Mike Holmgren is 13 years ago, he was teaching high school history, coaching the tennis team, and coaching the football team. And in 13 short years, because in a coach's career, he's gone on the fast track faster than anybody ever has. He got onto a wave. He said himself, I felt like I stepped onto a wave and I caught it and I rode it, and here I am.
Green Bay receives the kickoff to open the second half. On the return, it's Darrell Thompson. He gets it out near the 30-yard line, and that's where the Packer offense will take over. Again, we reintroduce to you our third partner, Kevin Frazier. Kevin.
Hey, had a chance to talk to Sean Jones at halftime. Asked Sean what's going on out there. He said, basically, we're getting just beat up. We're going to play a lot more man defense in the second half. Maybe they can turn it around. Joe?
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin. Yeah, I mean, if they're going to go man defense, and maybe they're going to try to send a little more heat on Jim Kelly, because they've got to do something if the Packers are going to win to disrupt Jim Kelly and this finely tuned machine, the high-powered Bills offense.
Favre to put it up. Incomplete. Great coverage by Mickey Washington as he was all over Sterling Sharp.
The good thing for the Packers on that play, Joe, is Favre delivered the ball on the money to Sharp. Now, credit, of course, Mickey Washington, because he makes a nice defensive play, but Favre was on the money. That ball wasn't behind Sterling Sharp. So, again, back to the first half. After Favre took that hit, he seems to have settled down a little bit.
So, second down and 10. Green Bay trailing 27-6. This time he finds Sterling Sharp. So good after the catch, he gets it out to the 49-yard line. And we give you a look at the numbers for the first half, which was dominated by the Bills offense.
Yeah, not only the total yards. I mean, the Bills there with about more than two times, I can't do the math, more than two times the Green Bay. But even more importantly, look at this time of possession. Now, that is two times. That's more than two times. But you get the general idea. The fact is the Bills have dominated this football game.
Do you speak for all ex-defensive linemen?
Well, us defensive linemen have a little bit of problem with our math, especially when you got to do it quickly. Now, if you have time on an exam to calculate and chew on your pencil, you'll be all right.
First and 10, Sterling Sharp getting into the action. He's ridden out of bounds by Mickey Washington. Sharp got it out near the 45-yard line of Buffalo. He picked up 6.
Well, Mike Holmgren going back to what really got them there, and that's the Favre-Sharp connection. And so far we've seen Favre and Sharp, and I'll bet you we'll see more and more of that, because sometimes when you get flustered and things aren't going your way, you go back and you dance with the girl that brung you, and that's that connection from Favre to Sharp.
We'll call it a 5-yard pickup on first down, 2nd down and 5. Reggie Cobb in motion, the toss to Bennett. Comes up shy of first down yardage. He got 4, but you could see the knee maybe bothering Bennett a little bit when he had to stop and redirect.
Yeah, he didn't cut as sharply as he normally does, and you see the reason why he came up short is that big Oliver Barnett. Again, the second time we've seen in this game filling in for Bruce Smith and doing what Bruce Smith does so well. That's making the tackle coming from the backside.
Brings up a 3rd and 1. Tight formation for the Packers. Favre eludes Bennett, throws on the run, and finds Brooks in a first down.
And Joe, Brett Favre is now throwing the ball on the money. I said at the beginning of the game, he's a guy who can get cold and then he can get hot. And it looks like right now he's got the heat turned up. The burners are burning blue.
A pickup of 7, a first down, and the Packers see the ball resting on the Bills' 35.
Great elusive move by Favre, too, to shape Cornelius Bennett.
2 tight end set for Green Bay. On first down. Little play action pass out to the tight end. Big hit made by Thomas Smith. The tight end Reggie Johnson hauled it in.
That's a battle of who gets the lowest, because when the big tight end comes rumbling across and you're Thomas Smith and you're a defensive back, you want to go underneath to bring him down. You don't want to go shoulder pad to shoulder pad or helmet to helmet, because that's a battle you will lose.
Nice pickup on first down, and that brings up the 2nd and 6. Favre changing up at the line. The play clock was down to 1. He finds his man shy of a first down. He got it to Brooks. Making the stop was Mickey Washington. A pickup of 5, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Oh, we've seen him go after Sharp early in the second half, and now he finds Brooks, and that's what it's going to take. Mike Holmgren told Brett Favre before the season, the way you've played is good for 9 and 7, but it's you that has to take us to 12 and 4, 11 and 5.
The next level, and to go there, Brett Favre's got to play under control, and he's got to deliver an accurate pass.
3rd and 1. Good second effort by Bennett, and a first down for Green Bay, depending on the spot. Great second effort, and this, it appeared as though he got the first down.
Yeah, well, the Bills' defensive line just stuffed that right up, and they formed a pile. But credit Bennett if they do get the first down, because Bennett spins and twists, and that's what gets him that extra yardage.
Well, they didn't give him a very good spot.
No, they didn't. And how could they give him that spot, Joe? I have no idea, because no whistle blew. He's still turning and twisting and got himself a lot further than that ball has been marked.
He just got the first down despite the spot.
Watch McIntyre, number 62. You're going to see he'll pull Bennett. He'll help with the pull and twist. You see 62 right there? There he is. Watch him. He gets a hold of Bennett and says, here, I'll help you out just a little bit. That's an old 49er trick.
Good for a first down from the 25 of Buffalo. Favre to Cobb. On the dead sprint, he finds a first down. That is a good touch pass. He hit Reggie Cobb in stride.
Yeah, the Packers offense is starting to look like the Bills offense did in the first half.
A flag on the play, and they'll call it against Buffalo. An illegal use of the hands on the defense, so that play will stand. And it'll be a first down for the Packers.
Illegal hands to the face. 91. Defense is declined. First down.
Jeff Wright guilty of that shot to the face.
You know, those nose guards, I mean, you're in there as a nose guard. You're always going to give somebody a shot to the face at some time during the game. He's shaking his head and saying, hey, that's just part of my job. They shouldn't throw a flag on me for that. All that did is make them mad.
First down for Green Bay, and Cobb in motion. Big rush. Favre gets away, completes it. He found Cobb, and Cobb was wrestled out of bounds at the 6, a pickup of 8.
That's a beautiful thing about Brett Favre and his strength in throwing, because he's running to his left, and Bennett's hot on his tail, and he just zips that ball out there and gets it to Cobb, and then Cobb does a nice job of concentrating and hanging on to the ball, even with Darby all over his back.
Longest drive of the day for the Green Bay Packers. 11th play of the drive. Favre has completed 7 in a row. Make it 8. Make it a touchdown, Green Bay.
The touch pass, Joe. The touch pass. No zip, no zing on that ball. That was all control. That was all floating the ball in there. And really, that's what Mike Holmgren said Brett Favre has to do more of if he's going to take this team to that next level.
The field goal unit trots on to the field to try the extra point. Chris Jackie on. He had one blocked earlier. This would make it a 14-point game. Jackie is good this time, and the Packers have closed it to within 14. A great open to the second half for Green Bay. 11 play drive, 70 yards, and the Pack is back.
When you run the rollout pass, there's an unsung hero. It's the guard. He's got to get out there and get the hit on the outside linebacker, Cornelius Bennett. Watch Galbraith there. He just pops Bennett enough to keep Bennett's hands down, let Favre throw the ball over Bennett's head, and score the touchdown.
There's Mr. Galbraith. Now the Packers back into the game, and the kickoff taken by Jourdain. From inside his 5, he can get back only to his 15. That's where the Buffalo offense will set up. And now it's up to the Packer defense to keep the Pack in the game.
You always had dreams.
In the AFC East, where the Bills reside, they have a record of 5-5. First place Miami leading the Steelers 10-6. The Jets and the Vikings later on today. The Indianapolis Colts leading the Bengals 7-6. And New England out in front of the Chargers 10-3.
You know, one thing when you look at these records and you look at them trailing Miami, and you got to figure that as they move to the end of the season, Buffalo can make the playoffs, but they're not going to have the home field advantage. But Jim Kelly told me yesterday, said, I don't really care if we don't have the home field advantage. It gets so cold up here, the home field advantage sometimes isn't an advantage when we want to throw the football.
The Bills will play at Miami on the 4th of December, so they do have a head-to-head meeting left. Thurman Thomas tries out the right side. He's met by Reggie White and Fred Strickland. He picked up 3.
That's a bad sign right there.
That's Reggie. Reggie White banged up on the play and in some pain.
You know, a lot of people talk about free agency and the pros and the cons, and Marv Levy said that his philosophy on it is he doesn't want to try to rebuild his team through free agency, because most times it hurts the team that loses the guys, and it helps the team, and it doesn't help the team that gets the guy that much. But Reggie White is a guy who has proven the benefits of free agency. You look at him, he's right here. We'll take a look and try to figure out what happened or see how he gets twisted around in there, and you can't really tell much from that. But Reggie White is a guy who has just turned a team around almost single-handedly, because he is the impact player of all impact players. He's got the incredible talent, he's got the incredible effort, and he paid off. I mean, the huge multi-million-dollar contract, but he's worth every cent of it.
How big of an impact player last year when he joined Green Bay? He took the defense from 23rd overall in the NFL to number 2. That's what kind of an impact he has on a defense. He has only 2 tackles today, but his mere presence means a focus by today the Bills offense of trying to locate where he is.
Right, because every time you run a pass play, Jim Kelly told us yesterday, he said, hey, I'm looking for Reggie White. I'm going to slide my protection to him. I'm going to make sure there's 2 men on him. So he pulls another blocker away and frees somebody else up. And believe me, they do the same thing on the run play. You got to account for him, not just with 1 blocker, but you got to have 2 on him at all times. Otherwise, he busts through and he dominates.
Reggie White still down, and we'll give you another look at the play that has caused this delay.
Yeah, he's right in here. You see Davis on him, pushing on him. And you have to wonder if he doesn't get his elbow twisted up in here, up underneath the pile. You see him come down on it and then twist it around.
Reggie White is up, holding his left arm as he limps off the field. You never know with an injury, though. Sometimes a guy will limp off holding his arm, and it's his knee that hurts. But for right now, Reggie White cradling that left arm. And Don Davey, a 4th-year player from Wisconsin, checks in. He wears number 99, and he plays in place of Reggie White.
It's interesting when you meet Reggie White, and he's such a pleasant, wonderful, down-to-earth guy. You wonder how a guy like that can go out on the football field and dominate as a defensive player, because to dominate as a defensive player, you have to play mean. And he's not a mean person, but he plays mean.
2nd down and 7 for Buffalo. And the throw to the sidelines behind Reed. He's still working on Buckley. The pass was behind Reed, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 7.
Man, Buckley had his hands on Reed on that play a little bit too much, and if he keeps doing that, he's going to get the flag again, because he encroached on him and got his hands a little bit too much on him.
Still working on the left arm or left elbow of Reggie White. 3rd down for Buffalo. Andre Reed all alone. The coverage, George Teague fell down, and Reed was standing there by himself.
Once again, Joe, we see the good protection from the Buffalo Bills offensive line, allowing Jim Kelly to get his pass off here. Look at the pocket that forms. Kelly's got time. And, you know, Jim Kelly puts some cash on the table for those offensive linemen. And if they keep him protected and give up no sacks, he gives up a little cash.
Thurman Thomas tries the left side. He picked up 6.
I know Kelly's gotten sacked once today already. Jones got him earlier, but, you know, otherwise, he's gone pretty well unmolested. And I think he might want to turn that money over to those guys after this game if they keep doing the kind of job that they've done.
Against a very good Green Bay front 7. An end around to Andre Reed. Driven out of bounds right at the 1st down marker.
He was knocked out of bounds by George Kuntz.
The important thing, Tim, of keeping hands off Jim Kelly as these injuries start to mount for both teams, it's both these 2 teams will play on Thanksgiving. They'll have a very, very short work week, and they're going to have to turn around, and these Buffalo Bills will play at Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you're right. That's an unusual and a difficult task to try to turn right around and play a game on Thursday.
A 1st down picked up on the end around by Andre Reed. He's in motion, and Kelly to put it up. Metzelar. Strickland brought him down, but Metzelar gets into Green Bay territory and down at the 44.
This is a drive that Green Bay needs to shut down. Their offense came out, Favre's looking sharp, spreading the ball around. They drive down and score and really put the Packers back into it. Now the defense has got to bolster themselves, muscle up, and stop the Bills if they want to keep that momentum that Favre established with the offense.
2nd down and 1. Delayed handoff, Thurman Thomas. He's brought down in the backfield by Wayne Simmons.
Wayne Simmons, who made the tackle.
A loss on the play, and that'll bring up a third down, and that's a big play by the second-year player Simmons.
Yeah, that's a great play by a linebacker because he runs up into the hole, and the Bills are running that counter tray, and they're pulling Davis and Parker from the other side, and Simmons just stuffs number 74, Glenn Parker, into the hole and then makes the play.
Buffalo 6 out of 8 on third downs. Faced with a 3rd and 2. Kelly looking for help, can't find any, and he is sacked. And that's exactly what the Packers needed. Don Davey was in the middle of it for Green Bay. Big Gilbert Brown was there. And Fritz Schirmer trying to pump up that defense.
Yeah, and Fritz Schirmer had his cornerbacks, his secondary guys, disguising the defense. Look at them up close here to the line of scrimmage. They make Jim Kelly think that it's man-to-man, and then they start to back off. So Kelly calls a hot route, and then they back off and play it, and then there's no place for Jim Kelly to throw the ball.
Now Chris Moore on to punt for Buffalo. Good snap. Decent kick. And it'll go out of bounds. Mike Pryor was back for the return, so Green Bay took their first possession of the half and scored. They get it again. They're down by 14.
Joe, Tim down on the sideline. The word on Reggie White, a sprained left elbow. It's uncertain whether he will return or not. As we learn more information, I'll send it up to you guys.
Thank you, Kevin Frazier. So a big part of the Green Bay defense, which has got to hold Buffalo if they're going to hang in this game, lost for the moment, maybe for the game. The Packers have it down by 14. Trying to set up a screen. They do to Anthony Morgan. A big hit put on by Patton. Maddox was there as well, but a pickup of 8 on first down.
Well, this time Cornelius Bennett gets cut down, and he's not the factor in the screenplay that he was before. Now, that's a difficult thing to be out there on the edge. Favre with the spin and the twist, faking everybody out. Bennett gets out there, but you see him right there. He gets cut down by Harry Galbraith.
First catch of the day for Anthony Morgan. Brings up a 2nd and 2. And Bennett trying to bounce it outside. Puts his head down, and he's brought down just a little shy of first down yardage. Henry Jones, the strong safety, was there along with Maddox for the Bills. Bennett shaking his head. He's a little short of first down yardage. It'll bring up a 3rd and 1. Bennett today, 6 carries, 23 yards, 5 catches, 22 yards. 3rd and 1. Reggie Cobb bounces outside and picks up a first down.
Boy, Cobb had to be fast to beat Cornelius Bennett to the corner on that, and he just made it. That's a tough guy to beat to the corner, Cornelius Bennett, when he's coming upfield on a short yardage play like this. You watch him zip up, but Cobb beats him around the edge and gets the first down. Look at Bennett. You see that? That's a tough thing to do because he's coming full speed.
Hansen brought him down, but not before Cobb picked up a first down. The ball resting just shy of the Green Bay 35. Little touch pass, incomplete. Sterling Sharp, the intended receiver, and now a flag, a late flag on the play, and this might cost the Bills.
Well, it looked like they were mauling Sterling Sharp.
And this could be something after the play. That is what we believe is the case, and they will talk it over amongst themselves. This looks like it's going to cost Buffalo.
Well, sometimes it's after the player. Sometimes the official just has trouble getting the flag out of his pocket, so it comes out a little late.
Henry Jones was back, the strong safety defending on the play. The late flag came down, and he was the one that reacted the most. And now we'll get the call from Johnny Greer.
There is no infraction on the play. The ball was still alive.
So they pick up the flag.
Well, the ball's bouncing around, and after Sharp hits it, and it's live, the ball's live, so then Henry Jones can do whatever the heck he wants. They can maul him, they can brawl him, they can throw him to the ground.
So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 after the officials pick up the flag on the play. So they got together, overruled, and now on 2nd and 10 with Bennett and Cobb in the backfield. And the wide receiver split out wide to the right. Favre steps up, throws sidearm, and hits Brooks for a first down. Out of bounds right at midfield. And we give you a Central Division update with a McDonald's game break. Back to Hollywood and James Brown.
All right, Joe, nice play by Favre there. Take a look at Steve Walsh. No, he doesn't have a strong arm, but just a nice touch as he finds Jeff Graham 31 yards for the score. Chicago ahead of Detroit by 10. Back to Buffalo. Joe Buck and Tim Green.
Thank you, James Brown. A first down here for Green Bay.
Yeah, and Favre with the arm strength threw the sidewinder missile and got the completion. So he's doing a great job of throwing the touch when he has to throw the touch, throwing the hard ball when he has to throw the hard ball.
Now he throws the hard ball, and it's behind Sharp, incomplete.
Well, he had to throw the hard ball that time. That's not a touch pass, but he's got to get it back on the numbers and get it back in front of Sharp, in front of his receivers. But you know what, Joe? That's the first poor pass we've seen Brett Favre throw all this half.
Henry Jones was there defending. Here in the second half, Green Bay has had the ball twice. They have the advantage with the yardage. Starting to even out a little more for the entire game. 2nd down and 10. Delayed handoff, Bennett. Looking for yards over the middle. Bouncing it outside. And out of bounds at the 32, 31-yard line.
Well, that's all Bennett on that play. The offensive line opens up a nice hole, but then Bennett takes a smack, and he goes with that spin that we saw him get the first down earlier with on the short yardage. Watch him here, up through the hole. Nice hole by the offensive line. Jeff Wright walled out of the play. Talley walled out. But then he puts the spin on, and then he puts the burners on and gets the first down.
Mickey Washington missed the tackle inside. He laid a hit on Bennett, but he didn't wrap him up. Now from the 31, after an 18-yard pickup on that run, Favre's going to put it up. He's hit as he throws. A flag on the play. And incomplete, looking for Morgan. Now a flag on the play in the secondary, but remember, this ball was tipped. Good pressure on the quarterback. They're going to call a hold on the defense. Bennett had pressure on the quarterback, but this is going to cost Buffalo 5 yards and a first down.
Holding, 28, defense. First down.
Thomas Smith guilty.
Well, Cornelius Bennett splits the defenders here. He comes right between Joe Sims and Harry Galbraith. Sometimes when you got two guys on you, you lay off a little bit. When you got two offensive linemen, you figure, hey, I'll just give him a hit and my buddy will get him. But the other guy's thinking the same thing. And then a guy like Cornelius Bennett will just split the seam and tear up into the quarterback.
So a 1st and 10 from the 26. Favre throws, Sharp, touchdown. Sterling Sharp.
On the money with the sidewinder missile, Joe. That ball was on an iced rope.
Burris beaten along with a safety, Darby. Sharp split him, and all of a sudden, with the extra point pending, the Packers are within a touchdown.
Well, you talk about dance with the girl that brung you, and you know what that means, right?
I know.
Well,
I never went to a dance.
If a girl takes you to the dance, then you dance with her. You don't start dancing around with other girls. You dance with the girl that brung you. And the people that brung the Packers to this dance is Sharp and Favre. You learn something every day.
A new half, a different team. Green Bay, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, and they're within 7.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Mitsubishi. the new thinking in automobiles.
On the return, it's Russell Copeland. Copeland out short of the 30, brought down at the 29, and that's where the Buffalo Bills offense will take over in the second half. Brett Favre is 11 of 14. Now it's Kelly's turn to try.
We'll take another look at the Green Bay touchdown. Now, Brett Favre knows he's got a small target to hit back here because he's got a free safety here who's going to be coming. Sharp's going to make that break, and if Favre doesn't hit it right on the money, the free safety can pick this ball off. But Favre delivers it right there. You see Sharp right between those two guys. It's a small window of opportunity, and here's how tight that target is. Look at Favre. He put it right in the crook of his arm. I'll bet you Favre won a lot of those stuffed animals at the State Fair when he was a kid.
This time he wins. Oh, yeah. This time he wins a touchdown, and
I mean, he didn't just
right
put it on the money. He put it right in the crook of his arm. I mean, Sterling Sharp didn't even have, all he had to do was move his hand a little bit, close his hand down.
Now on first down, Buffalo to the air, and Andre Reed brought down shy of a first down. He got 9.5. George Teague there to make the stop.
Hey, Joe, if you haven't noticed, we've suddenly got a game here, my man.
I noticed. And that's fine with us. And this crowd here at Rich Stadium, I think, getting a little uneasy. It was 27-6 at the half, now 27-20. Billy Brooks makes a first down catch outside the 40, and they're going to mark the ball at the 45.
Yeah, the crowd may be getting a little uneasy, but it's exciting, Joe. I mean, don't think that the crowd wants to come here and just see the Bills roll all over somebody. They worked hard all week. They want to see a good football game. They want to see the Bills win, but they want to see a game.
Big crowd here at Rich Stadium. Thurman Thomas looking for extra yards, slipped as he tried to make a cut. Brought down right at midfield. Well, you got a shot of Reggie White. Let's send it down to Kevin Frazier for an update on his health.
Guys, they're taping Reggie White up right now, and they tested the strength in that arm and the elbow. It looks like Reggie may be headed back into the game.
Don Davey is filled in since Reggie left. Pass complete to the near sideline. Andre Reed. Well, he's brought down short of first down yardage.
Well, that tape might make Reggie White's, might make the trainers feel better about it, but I've sprained my elbow. When you sprain your elbow, that's a painful thing that a little bit of tape does not make go away.
On 3rd and 1, Thurman Thomas is hit hard. And this is going to come down to a measurement to see if he got the first down. And I believe he may be a little short. He is short. And on 4th down, the Buffalo offense stays on the field. They're going to go for it. That will likely be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Only 4 seconds and counting remaining in the quarter. And that will be the end of the 3rd quarter. All of a sudden, this second half belongs to Green Bay. And a 4th and short facing the Buffalo Bills when we start quarter number 4. At the end of the 3rd quarter, our score, the Bills 27, the Packers 20. We'll return to Rich Stadium after these words from your local station.
You're watching Fox NFL Sunday.
At the start of the 4th quarter, Joe Buck and Tim Green with you. Our Budweiser game summary. Total yards starting to even out. Buffalo owned the first half. Now Green Bay jumping back in. Kelly has had a fantastic day. Sterling Sharp, despite the bad hamstrings, has been very valuable to Green Bay. On 4th down, the Buffalo Bills try for the first down, and this is going to take a measurement. No, it isn't. Johnny Greer gives the first down to Buffalo. Carwell Gardner, the fullback, his first carry of the day, and it's a big one.
That's where you want to go. Of course, you go to big Carwell Gardner because if you just need inches, he's a guy who can pound it up in there and get inches even if he's got to go through a brick wall or a stone wall or a steel fence or anything you can think of.
Another player down for Green Bay. That's Sean Jones. Well, they lost Reggie White moments ago with a banged up left elbow. Now Reggie White watches from the sidelines as Sean Jones is flat out on his back. Now being helped to his feet.
Well, he gets hit on his back during the play. You see him right there getting twisted around. And of course, you have no idea what it is, but you see his hand there down on the bottom of his back, his lower back, and sometimes when your torso gets twisted around like that, the torque on it can pull those lower back muscles, and that can be a real painful, debilitating thing. It'll probably hurt him a lot more tomorrow morning than it does right now.
And you can see Sean sticking close to the sideline. He'll jump back in. He has to step out for a play at the least. Reggie White and Sean Jones are both out of action for Green Bay, and Gabe Wilkins checks in for Sean Jones. On the other end, it's Don Davey. And on first down, Thurman Thomas gets only a yard at the most over the left side. Well, they went right at the spot vacated by Sean Jones, and the Packers stuffed it.
Yeah, well, George Kuntz, big number 53, the linebacker for the Packers, he met John Davis, the pulling guard, in the hole and just stopped him in his tracks.
Sean Jones checks back into the game for Green Bay, and on second down, Kelly to Reed. Good work defensively by Doug Evans. They test him week after week. A new cornerback, and this time equal to the test.
And you see Jim Kelly there. He's cursing himself because he underthrew this ball. I mean, Reed's got a little bit of the stretch on Evans, but Kelly does not deliver. It comes up short and really gave Evans an opportunity to pick that ball off.
Now third down and 9. 5 defensive backs into the game for Green Bay. Kelly back to put it up, has to step up, get rid of it, intercepted. Intercepted, back the other way, it's Buckley. And into Buffalo territory, Terrell Buckley, and the second half belongs to Green Bay.
Well, we talked about Oliver Barnett replacing Bruce Smith for the Bills, and Don Davey, number 99, had to step in and replace Reggie White in the pass rush. Watch him here because he does his job. He swims around, battles around, gets into Kelly's face, and forces this interception throw. Because to Buckley, that's just a Christmas present sitting under the tree. Then you see Yurkovich. He says, I'm going to put a little of this, that's Davis, on the, Davey gets on Kelly and then puts a little bit of his weight on top of him, too.
Now on first down for Green Bay, Favre overshoots Brooks. Mickey Washington there defensively, but Green Bay, which trailed 27-6 at the half, Tim, down by a touchdown, and they have the ball in Buffalo territory.
Yeah, they're just back into the, I mean, this is an exciting, this is a super football game, and a lot of times when it gets unbalanced in the first half like that, it gets out of hand in the second half. Says a heck of a lot about this Green Bay football team to come back this strong.
Second down and 10. Play action pass, and Favre to the sideline. Brooks pulled up, and Favre threw a deep route. Incomplete, 3rd and 10. This stadium has seen some unbelievable comebacks. Everybody talks about 1992, January 3rd, actually into 93, but the 92-93 season, a 41-38 win by the Bills over the Oilers.
Now you see the crowd getting into this mix a little bit.
Favre to put it up on 3rd and 10, over the middle, incomplete. Brooks looks surprised to get the football, and after the turnover, the Packers will have to punt it back to Buffalo.
He looks surprised, and you can surprise your receiver, Joe, but you can't surprise him with the ball thrown behind him. And again, Brett Favre delivered that ball behind Brooks.
Craig Hentrick on for his 4th punt of the day. Russell Copeland back deep for the Bills. Hendrick, a beautiful punt, but it sails into the end zone. Time for a touchback, and the Buffalo Bills will take over at their own 20.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like a beautiful punt if you're on video, but not there. Too far.
We welcome those of you who have been watching the Dallas-Washington game, dominated by the Cowboys in the third quarter, 31-7. Here in Buffalo, it's been a tale of two games. The first half belonged to the Bills. They ran it up to 27-6 at the half. Here in the second half, Green Bay took their first two possessions down the field and into the end zone. And it's now a 7-point game with Buffalo out in front, 27-20.
I like that literary reference, a tale of two games.
Hand off to Thurman Thomas. Jurkovich there to bring him down. Thomas picked up 4.
That's just tough, hard nose guard work by John Jurkovich. And I told you earlier that he feels like he's playing better because he's lost some weight. He was 307. He went down to 282. Right now he's 293. He says, he told me he feels like a spring chicken. I find that kind of hard to believe. Can't think of him as a spring chicken, but he's moving around the field real well.
Now on second down, Kelly puts it up. He finds his tight end Metzelaars, and Fred Strickland there to wrestle him down. A pickup of 3. It'll bring up a third down for Buffalo.
Well, Strickland put the kind of hit on Metzelaars that would drop most tight ends in their tracks. But Metzelaars is one of your bigger guys, 6'7", so he's rangy, but he's 250 pounds, and he gets going upfield, and he'll get that extra yard or 2.
Third down. Kelly to put it up over the middle. Andre Reed, first down, Buffalo. If you just joined us early in the game, it was that combination, Jim Kelly and Andre Reed. They hooked up for 2 touchdowns. First, it was Thurman Thomas. He banged it in from 5 yards out. Then it was Jim Kelly to Andre Reed. At the half, it was 27-6. Now it's 27-20. On first down, Thurman Thomas brought down by John Jurkovich. He just did get back to the line of scrimmage.
You talk about the tale of two games, Joe, and boy, the first half you saw the Buffalo Bills and Thurman Thomas just tearing up the middle of this Green Bay Packer defense. Now the Packers are starting to shut the run down the way you'd expect the second-rated rushing defense in the league to do.
Second down and 10. Kelly to the sideline. Incomplete, and the crowd screaming for a flag. Terrell Buckley there to defend Russell Copeland. No flag, and that'll bring up 3rd and 10. This second half has belonged to Green Bay. The Packers took their first possession of the second half, marched it down the field, and Brett Favre connected with Sterling Sharp. Who else in the seam? Good for 7, and it's just a 7-point game. Now on 3rd and 10, Kelly looking for help, finds Andre Reed. Who else? First down, Buffalo.
Jim Kelly's pass complete to
13-yard pickup. Good for a first down, and Kelly a bit banged up after that play.
Well, he came into the game with that sore hand, Joe. The hand was swollen. He had the cut on the middle finger, and we knew that he'd be struggling with that all day. And then just now he took a hit from George Kuntz.
Able to continue. How effective will he be? Andre Reed just tied a career high for most receptions in a game, 13, and he has 156 yards to go with it. Thurman Thomas, nothing. Steve McMichael there to throw him back.
Again, that's the kind of play you expect from those Green Bay Packers, that interior line, Steve McMichael, John Jurkovich. You expect those big, bulky guys in there in the middle to be just shutting down the run game. They didn't do it in the first half, but boy, we're seeing it. They're doing it now.
2nd down and 9. Kelly over the middle, completes. Russell Copeland makes the catch. Actually, Damon Thomas, who was just signed off the practice squad, he's not on the 2 deeps, not on the 3 deeps. He's hard to find even in the media guy.
Well, we saw Don Davey, number 99 for the Packers, force Kelly to throw the interception just a little while ago, but I think the Packers are now missing Reggie White. He's out of the game with the sore elbow, and they're not getting that same kind of pressure that they're going to get with Reggie White in there, just dominating, taking up 2 guys, and blowing them back into Jim Kelly's face.
Reggie White left with a banged-up left elbow. He's on the sidelines hoping to return. Kelly trying to scramble, just throws it away. And again, Kelly flat on his back.
Boy, if Sean Jones doesn't have those big, long stork arms, I think Jim Kelly gets around the edge to the corner and keeps running. Watch Jones here, racing upfield against Feeney. He rips under, he starts to come inside, he jumps up, and then he gets back out. Watch him stretch those arms. Boy, I mean, most guys, heck, you or me, we stretch our arms like that. Kelly's still running.
Now John Yurkovich is down and holding his right leg. So defensive linemen are dropping all over the place for Green Bay. They lost Reggie White for a couple of plays. They lost Sean Jones. Now John Yurkovich is down. And the defensive front for the Green Bay Packers cannot afford any more injuries. It's the defense that has helped keep Green Bay in this game in this 2nd half.
Yeah, the defense has done exactly what you'd expect them to do.
One of the best defenses in the league asked to stop Buffalo. The Bills have it and the lead.
It is who invite you to experience the tranquility of the all-new Avalon. By Heineken, the #1 imported beer. Heineken, just being the best is enough. And by Braun Electric Shavers, for the world's most recognized shave.
For those of you who are just joining us, here is how we are now at the 27-20 score with the Bills out in front. The first half predominantly belonged to Buffalo, but here in the 2nd half, it's been Bennett, a 5-yard touchdown catch, Sharp, a 26-yard TD catch to close it to within 7. Now with 8:57 left in the 4th quarter, the Bills have it. 2nd down, Andre Reed takes a seat at the 15, a career-high 14 catches in this game.
Well, we said earlier that Andre Reed had Buckley's number, and here you see it again. He's been mixing it, matching it upfield, makes the slant, breaks inside, and comes up with another big catch.
There was also a flag on the play. Illegal contact downfield by the Green Bay defense, declined, and a 1st down for Buffalo at the Green Bay 15.
Heck, that's insulting. Andre Reed's running around out there beating Terrell Buckley, and he doesn't even have both the snaps on his chin strap buckled.
He has had a fantastic day. Buffalo record, 14 catches in a single game for Andre Reed. And now a 1st down at the 15. Delayed handoff to Thurman Thomas, and he is hit hard by Don Davey, the replacement for Reggie White.
Well, again, we see the replacement player. Don Davey forced an interception before, and I said he wasn't getting that heat in Kelly's face, but boy, he got some heat in Thurman Thomas's face on that one. He put the whole burning fire in Thomas's face.
Davey's still in. John Yurkovich is back into the game for Green Bay.
Look at Davey's face too, man. He's pumped up. You see those that intensity. He's got the eyes narrowed, and he's puffing and puffing. He's ready to go.
2nd down and 12 after a loss of 2. Kelly escapes the pressure and completes the pass, and now it's dropped. They say the receiver was down. There was no fumble. Copeland was hammered. A 9-yard pickup, and they ruled him down by contact.
Well, Gilbert Brown, number 93 for the Packers, just blew right up through the middle and got into Jim Kelly's face. However, Sean Jones did not hold up his end of the bargain because he's rushing on the outside. He's got to contain Kelly. Watch the hit on Copeland. whack. Evans drops him, and Copeland drops the ball.
But ruled down, so no fumble. The Bills recovered it anyway, and they set up with a 3rd down. And a whistle stops play, and Buffalo needs a timeout. 3rd down facing Jim Kelly and the Bills when we return. Buffalo leading 27-20 here in the 4th quarter with exactly 7 minutes remaining. And Buffalo faced with a 3rd and 3 at the Green Bay 8. What a day for Andre Reed. 14 catches, a Buffalo record. Reggie White can only stand and watch from the sidelines. 3rd and 3 for the Bills. Thurman Thomas brought down shy of a 1st down. He got 2. He's short by a yard. And Steve Christie will trot on to try the field goal.
Well, we talked about Don Davies being pumped up and having the intensity. He just comes all the way from the backside, races around, and grabs Thomas by the ankles to bring him down. He makes that play from the backside.
Don Davie has been an important part to this defense with the loss of Reggie White today. 25-yard field goal try here for Christie, who has missed only once all season. Christie's kick is no good. He hits the upright. And Green Bay will take over at their own 20.
Isn't that the way it always happens? You know, you get going and you think that you can't miss. It's a chip shot, and then you miss. Looked like a good hold, no problem, but it hits the upright.
That's the only problem. He hit that big yellow pole. Still a 7-point game. That last field goal try by Christie hits the upright. Oh, what a catch by Sterling Sharp. Flag on the play. He hauls it in, runs out of bounds at the 25, but a flag comes flying out of the secondary.
Well, the sound of that ball hitting the upright is a kicker's nightmare. That's what they hear in the middle of the night when they wake up in a cold sweat.
This is going to cost the Bills 5 yards and a 1st down. And it'll move the ball up to the 25 as we get the call from Johnny Greer.
56, defense, 1st down.
So a 1st down from their own 25 is Darryl Talley guilty of a hold. Morgan and Sharp split out wide to the left. Brooks out wide to the right. On 1st down, inside handoff to Bennett. Hit by Burris, the rookie. He picked up 5.
Part of running this San Francisco offense is having a guy from San Francisco, the all-pro Guy McIntyre. Watch him pull around and just stuff Mark Maddox in the hole. Watch him, or Talley. He stuffs Talley and frees up Bennett to get the 5 yards.
Now 2nd and 5. 5:18 and counting. Green Bay down 27-20. Barr steps up, gets rid of it, incomplete. Brooks, the intended receiver.
Well, the difference for Green Bay so far this half, Joe, as opposed to the 1st half, has really been Brett Favre. You saw him in the 1st half. He was throwing the ball behind his receivers. He was throwing the short route too hard. And then this half, we see him come out. We see him put the touches, the nice light touches on the short balls. We see him drilling those long balls in there accurately and not forcing his receivers to go back to try to pick the ball down.
Now faced with a 3rd and 5, and Green Bay 5 out of 10 on 3rd down today. That pass batted down. Morgan, the intended receiver. And it's time for Green Bay to punt. Jeff Wright got a hand on that pass.
That's a huge series for the Buffalo defense. because it was a huge series for the Green Bay defense to have the Bills drive down and then send them back to the bench without any points at all.
Now with just over 5 minutes remaining, Craig Hendrick on for his 5th punt of the day. Russell Copeland back deep for the Bills. Good snap. Good punt. And a fair catch called for by Copeland. And the Buffalo offense will take over after a 39-yard punt. Good hang time, and the Bills have it at their own 31, and they lead by 7. How ironic that in a great game between Green Bay and Buffalo, two of the greatest defensive ends in the history of the National Football League are standing on the sidelines and watching.
Yeah, the two marquee players that everybody came and wanted to see. I think it's a fascinating statistic that without Bruce Smith, the Bills have had a record of 12-2.
They lead 27-20. Thurman Thomas tries out the right side and picks up good yards, brought down by Bryce Popp. He got 4.
Well, no doubt that Bruce Smith, back to him, is an impact player, and he adds so much to your team. So what that tells you, with that kind of record, 12-2 without Bruce Smith, it tells you about the character of this Buffalo Bills team. It tells you that they know when they lose a guy like Bruce Smith, everybody else has got to dig a little deeper, find a little bit more to make it happen.
They show Bruce's picture on the replay board here at Rich Stadium. Carwell Gardner, the fullback, picks up a couple. And it'll bring up a 3rd down for Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo just wants to keep the ball on the ground, grind it out, hang on to it. I mean, they're the ones with the lead. They don't want to start playing like they're behind. They've got the 7-point lead. They want to grind the clock down and just take it in and win this game. Marv Levy's dream is to just keep running down the field, just keep working it down, give it to Gardner, give it to Thomas, take it in.
3rd down and 4. And flags stop play.
Ball start. 74. Offense. Prior to the snap. Still 3rd down.
They flag Glenn Parker for a false start, and that's going to cost the Bills 5. At the end of the game, Tim and I will select the Miller Lite player of the game. Quite a few choices here today in Buffalo, and in a game which at the half was 27-6 Bills, now 27-20 Bills. This is a big 3rd down. On 3rd and 9, Kelly over the middle, Andre Reed. 1st down, Buffalo. What a day.
Well, Reed just had George Teague beat. He got him into a foot race. He beat him across the middle. Kelly delivered. The offensive line protected. And this is the way the Bills played the first half of this game, with precision.
Well, for two guys who were caught on camera yelling at each other on Monday night, I guess these two guys have patched things up. A 15-yard pickup and 15 catches today for Andre Reed.
When you want to make up, you don't send roses, you just send them the ball 15 times.
Now on 1st down, Thurman Thomas trying to pick his way through the line. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage.
Jim Kelly told us yesterday, he said, I know where my bread is buttered. Andre Reed and I can yell at each other, and heck, we could probably get into a fist fight. It wouldn't matter because we're still going to work together. We know we're the heart of this Buffalo Bills offense.
The Green Bay Packers call a timeout. They are left with 2. The clock stops with 3:11 to play. And Mike Holmgren hoping for a defensive stop. And then to turn around and put the ball in the end zone. That's what it's going to take. Well, this Thanksgiving, Mad About You and Seinfeld won't be on, but Fox rocks this Thursday with Martin, followed by In Living Single. And then on Thursday, the Thanksgiving day, in the afternoon, what a day on Fox. the Green Bay Packers and the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, what a day on the Fox network. And we bring that to you Thanksgiving Day on Thursday.
You think Pat and John are going to be handing out turkey legs again?
I would imagine so. That is a tradition.
I never got one of those turkey legs when I played, but I'll tell you, I wish I did.
On second down, Thurman Thomas. Boy, he had nowhere to go, and he turned it into 2 yards.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go because Sean Jones, big number 96, just strung that play out nicely and just gave Thurman Thomas no sideline, no lane, and Thomas just has to cut it back and get whatever he can. Watch Jones on this. He gets into Metzelaars. He's got Fina pushing on him. You see that? That's how you string it out.
A pickup of 2 on the play, and the Green Bay Packers have to use a timeout. Meanwhile, down on the field is a Buffalo Bills player, and that's Thurman Thomas, who has 80 yards today on the ground with 31 carries.
Well, he's done the dirty work today. Thurman Thomas has run well, and he's run hard. You know, the interesting thing, though, and not to take anything away from the all-pro Thurman Thomas, but, boy, when Kenneth Davis, his replacements come in, he's done a heck of a job. He's got 4.5 yards every time he's touched the ball, or that's his average throughout the season.
Well, he checks into the lineup as they take a look at the leg of Thurman Thomas. Jim Kelly has had an absolutely fantastic day. He came into the game with a banged-up throwing hand.
Yeah, that man right there, Joe, is tough as nails. I mean, you saw his hand. It was swollen. It was cut up. A lot of people, a lot of quarterbacks would say, hey, I can't play today because my hand will be affected and I won't be able to throw the ball quite as well. You can even almost see it there. That's the wrong hand. There it is, that throwing hand. You see a little discoloration on the back of it. I mean, that's painful for him to throw the ball all day. But, boy, he's thrown it, and he's thrown it well.
And painful for any Buffalo Bill player or fan to watch as they really gather around Thurman Thomas and check out his well-being. Meanwhile, Kelly yelling at someone over on the sideline. He is a fiery player.
Well, you see him barking at people, and he says, heck, I bark at people all the time, on the field, off the field. That's my temperament. I'm a competitor. I'm a winner. I want to win, and the guys around me know it. And they don't get flustered when I start barking at them or the coaches. Everybody around me knows I just want to win.
Exactly 3 minutes remaining in this game, and Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills are faced with a 3rd and 8.
Like I said before, when Jim Kelly gets protection from his offensive line, he gives them some nice cold cash. He said it's in $100 bills, and it gets up into the thousands. So that softens it up a little bit, too. If you get yelled at, but you see a big stack of bills on your seat when you come in from the game, it kind of makes it easy to take.
They have added 1 timeout back onto the total for Green Bay, so give them 2 now. They originally called a timeout, but they gave it back to him because of the injury to Thurman Thomas with the automatic timeout. So they're left with 2, and here's another big 3rd down. 3rd and 8. Kelly to the sidelines, incomplete to Billy Brooks, and again it's Doug Evans.
Well, Doug Evans against the Jets last week came up with the big play late. He covered his receiver. He did his job. He kept the Jets' Robert Moore from completing and from catching that touchdown pass and winning the game or tying the game for the Jets. And now you see it again here. In a critical situation, Doug Evans has stepped up, covered his man, and stopped the opposing offense.
Robert Brooks back to return the punt for Green Bay. He does have 1 punt return for a touchdown this season. Chris Moore, an end-over-end punt, taken at the 10, and then Brooks is hammered. Who else? Steve Tasker. Steve Tasker, the only MVP in Pro Bowl history as a special teamer.
Boy, when you're Brooks and you see the guy coming down, I can see trying to juke him, but you see 89, and if you know it's Tasker, you know it's a heat-seeking missile, and he's detected the heat, and he's going to zero in and lay the hit on you.
In a must game for both sides. What looked to be a possible blowout at the half comes down to Green Bay with one final possession. 2 timeouts, 2:24 left in the clock, down by 7. This is all they could have asked for going in at the half. Favre lobs it up. Incomplete, nearly picked off. The rookie Burris was there, and he just could not find the handle.
Well, it looked like a miscue between Favre and Sharp, because I think Favre was throwing the jump ball. He thought Sharp was going to pull up short.
Brett Favre has missed on 6 passes in a row.
Well,
Not
remember
a good time
in the
to go
beginning
back into that cold.
That's
streak.
right. We saw him cold in the first half, and I said he might get hot, and then he did get hot. Now he's cold again. He needs to get hot fast.
Favre sacked, no safety. Brought down just before he fell into the end zone. This is not a safety, but it's a big loss.
Well, it's tough to get hot. It's tough to turn up the flames when the Bills defense just keeps blowing out the pilot light on you, because that's what Jeff Wright does here. He just comes blowing right up the middle, Bennett around the edge, and Jeff Wright bringing Favre down, just snuffs out the light and keeps Favre ice cold.
3rd down and 19, facing the Green Bay Packers when we return. Third down and 19 for Green Bay from inside their own 1-yard line. And this rich stadium crowd into it, trying to help the Bills along to their 6th win of the year.
You see big Jeff Wright there, number 91. The life of the nose guard isn't always pretty, and it isn't always glorious, but he's got the Packers back down in there himself.
Flag on the play. Favre completes the ball to Morgan, but a flag on the play back in the end zone, and we may have a hold, which would result in a safety. We'll check the flag and Johnny Greer. This could result in a safety. Johnny Greer.
Holding, number 68, offense in the end zone. I have a safety.
Well, Joe Sims is working on Phil Hansen. You see him right there on the outside. You see Hansen slap down, and then Sims just goes down on top of him right there. When he puts the arm around Hansen's waist, and then you see him there, he tries to pull it back off like, hey, I didn't really have my arm around his waist. But the official was heads up. He saw it. He made the call. 2 points for the Buffalo Bills.
The Bills get 2. They'll get the ball back after the free kick, and that, in essence, ends this game. Marv Levy's Bills needed this game to stay above the 500 mark. They'll move to 6-5. Same record for Green Bay, 6-5, with a loss here today if Buffalo can hang on.
Well, the incredibly painful thing about that play and that holding penalty, Joe, is Favre delivered the ball to Morgan downfield, and they got the first down that they needed.
Following today's game, except in Minneapolis, Fox doubleheader action continues. The Philadelphia Eagles battle their former coach Buddy Ryan and the Arizona Cardinals, or the Atlanta Falcons take on the Broncos. Check local listings for the game and time in your area. Stay tuned to Fox Sports for more exciting doubleheader action.
Again,
another look.
Take a look at Phil Hansen there. He slapped Sims' arms off him. Watch the left arm. You see it? Comes right around his waist. That's the holding right there. And then he pulls it back, but too late. And that hurts Joe Sims, believe me. There's nothing more painful than that, to have the last play, the last chance for your team end because you get a penalty. He's just out there battling, trying to do every doggone thing he can to protect Favre so Favre can complete that pass. He goes just a little bit too far beyond the line and draws the flag.
Now we'll have a free kick by Hendrick. Russell Copeland is back deep for Buffalo, but the Packers line up in an onside fashion, strong to the left. Hendrick from his 20. And now the Packers having a tough time getting together as they wait for the whistle to resume play. And the Bills take care of it. Only fitting that coming out of that pile with the football is Andre Reed. What a day for Reed. What a day for Kelly. And the Bills will take over at the Green Bay 30. This game is presented by the authority of the National Football League. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the written consent of the National Football League and the Buffalo Bills, Mr. Kelly, is strictly prohibited. For those of you just joining us, you have no idea what that meant. Part of our tease at the top of the show. Carwell Gardner on first down, picked up 5. Well, a big effort today by Sterling Sharp, playing with the bad hamstring. Edgar Bennett playing with the knee and the shoulder.
And then you saw the replacement guys. Don Davey filling in for Reggie White, who got banged up, the sprained elbow. You saw him playing his heart out. And then you saw Oliver Barnett for the Bills, number 77, replacing Bruce Smith. You saw him playing his heart out. So this is a hard-fought heck of a football game. You couldn't ask for anything more on a Sunday afternoon, especially in Buffalo when the weather's warm.
Carwell Gardner on second down, picked up 3. The Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving will take on Dallas at Texas Stadium. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills are at Detroit on Thanksgiving. So a short work week coming up for each team. The Bills closing out a victory. The Buffalo Bills leading 29-20, under a minute to go, and Buffalo has the football. They're faced with a third down, and this has been a hard-fought game.
Yeah, in a hard-fought game, you don't see it any better than you do with Kent Hull, number 67. Look at those pants. You don't think he's fighting hard in there? Heck, he's leaving blood and all kinds of things left out on the field and all over his pants. He's in there battling Yurkovich and Gilbert Brown and Steve McMichael.
On third down and 4, fighting for a first down, Carwell Gardner.
Look who's right there in the middle of it, Kent Hull. Heck, he's got Strickland, the middle linebacker, on his back. There's a tough guy who's just been fighting and working all day long.
The Buffalo Bills about to move to 6-5 in the AFC East, and the Packers 6-5 in the NFC Central. What a big day today for Jim Kelly. He tosses the ball to Johnny Greer. And our Miller Lite player of the game, Jim Kelly. 32 out of 44, 365 yards, a couple of touchdowns, 1 interception, and the 2 quarterbacks talk it over.
Yeah, and Jim Kelly doing all that with a hand that's smashed and swollen and cut and sore. He's a guy who's tough as nails. And when you got a quarterback like that in this league, it's no surprise that you've been to the Super Bowl. You've gone to the dance 4 years in a row.
In a must-win game for each team, it's the Bills that come out on top. And at the end of the game, our final score, Buffalo 29, the Green Bay Packers 20. For Tim Green, I'm Joe Buck saying so long from Buffalo. This has been a presentation of Fox Sports.